Tielemans want to join Arsenal. Fabio Viera clears air in there for you guys. How are you and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of RD in there for you. That is Rokani David. RD are my initials and Rokani David is my name. Please smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to go into the lower right bottom corner and smash that red button. We call it the subscription button, and hit the notification bell that enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. Now today we have lots of stories to talk about. Arsenal fans have been worried about Fabio Viera because they saw him wearing a protective boot in there for you, and they are so much scared about their player, and they really said, oh, we just bought him and we bought an injury player in there for you, because he was really pictured in there for you outside Coney today because he reported on duty and he was really wearing a protective boot, and it told was a minor foot issue in there for you. But we want to really come out and let you know what was it all about. Arsenal is interested in a central midfielder from France in there for you. Tielemans has made an alarm to Arsenal. Come and sign me, please. Mikel Arteta and Edu, if at all the likes of Rafinha are really making you wait, please, I'm here available. Come and get me. I want to play for Arsenal in there for you. We have Bruno Fernandes coming out and throwing lots of hails to a player who goes by the names of Fabio Viera in there for you. So lots of stories are lined up for you in here onto this channel, which goes by the names of Rokani Media Football. So we have Matteo Guendouzi leaving permanently for Arsenal, and the query is all about the amount of money that Arsenal really got out of him. But I'm really going to let you know why they paid £9.5 million for the player who goes by the names of Matteo Guendouzi, who has been really playing well at Marseille on loan. So lots of stories in there for you. Do the needful and let's get this done. Let's roll this going in here for you. Now, first and foremost, you see that picture. He is a player that Arsenal has just signed. He was pictured outside London Conley in there, meaning he reported for duty, and he was pictured in a protective boot outside Conley in there for you. And this really sent Arsenal fans in a frenzy, and they're asking themselves, what has happened to the player we just signed? And he was not with an injury by the time I unveiled him. Why is he wearing a protective boot in there for you? But he came out and really addressed the concern via his Instagram, and this is what he said in his own words. He said via Instagram that, relax guys, it's just a precaution. I'm all okay and will be joining Arsenal team for preseason very soon. That is Fabio Viera in there for you. So he said it's okay in there for you. Now Charles Watts of the I think is the Arsenal correspondent for Goal, he said Fabio Viera's message to Arsenal fans after he was pictured today wearing a protective boot on his foot. The squad is due to travel to Germany at the start of next week for a training camp ahead of next Friday's opening pre-season game, and they're going to play against a side which goes by the names of Nuremberg in there for you. So today is 2nd, 3rd, that means on Friday it's going to be 8th, and Arsenal are really going to be playing their first game of the season in there for you. That is Fabio Viera for you, and he really came out and really apologized. Also, that's not an apology, by the way. It's not an apology. You can't take it as an apology, because he just really came out and really cleared the air on the many that they've been talking about him in there for you. So after all that, Bruno Fernandes really had things to say about a star who goes by the names of Fabio Viera, who really joined the Premier League. He was talking to Standard Sport, and Bruno really was so much full of praise for this under 21 Portuguese international, who almost plays the same role as Bruno plays, but he really looks to be so much talented, more than Bruno Fernandes in there for you. But wait and see what is really going to come up and show up in the Premier League. So Bruno had this to say for this young man in there for you. He said, I welcome all Portuguese players who go abroad. I hope he can shine to the fullest. Expect against me in there for you. That is a man who goes by the names of Bruno Fernandes. We're here to say he has a lot of quality and has been demonstrating that, whether in FC Porto is in the under 21s. He has had good numbers and good performances. Fernandes continued. I hope he succeeds like all the Portuguese out there in there for you. Then he really came out to say that We have to start valuing what is ours, and I hope that Fabio manages to be as good as possible despite of wanting to stay ahead in there for you. Bruno says has no problem with him being so much in there, but he won't go past him. That's what Bruno is saying. So he welcomed him to the Premier League and wants very many Portuguese players to come in and really come in and bless a side which goes the names of the Premier League. When you look at the Portuguese blessing the Premier League, Ronaldo is one of them, Diego Delo, Bruno Fernandes, there is Nuno Tavares, there is João Moutinho, Ruben Neves, Ruben Diaz, Bernardo Silva, you know him very well, of Man City, and which other player is really doing wonders? Diego Jota, he plays for Liverpool, you know him very well. So lots of players in there are really doing the needful, and they are coming in from Portugal, and Bruno is so much hailant of all of them because they are really doing great in there for you in the Premier League. So he really says, I wish him really a good performance in there for you. So that's what Bruno really came out to. It's like the package Bruno really had to give Fabio Viera, as he really described his situation and is coming to the Premier League via Standard Sport in there for you. Now, we have this story. Matteo Guendouzi has joined Marseille from Arsenal on a permanent transfer fee of £9.5 million, that is 7 million euros, after the French side activated their option to sign the midfielder in there for you. So, people have really come out and really raised their voices on Matteo Guendouzi signing for Marseille at £9.5 million, or 11 million euros. Now, you should know that this deal was signed before Matteo Guendouzi played very well at Marseille and really got call-ups at the national team of France. You get? Arsenal, by the time they signed this deal, they never really saw a prospect of Matteo Guendouzi that he will go out on loan and perform better. They thought that he's a failure at Arsenal, so they threw him there and they expected nothing out of him. And that is out of surprise. That is out of surprise because things are really happening in a very, very, very bad way according to what is happening to Arsenal fans. They are saying that we deserved more money from that, but this deal was signed, I think, 2 years ago when Matteo Guendouzi was sent to loan in Marseille. And now they've activated the loan buy option, and Arsenal has really fetched in some $9.5 million pounds in there for you, which is not bad money for Arsenal. It's good. If you get in 9.5 billion pounds from Guendouzi, you get in like 5 from Pablo Mari, you get some from Hector Bellerin, there is Ainsley Maitland-Niles, there is Reece Nelson, and very many others. Arsenal has like 7-8 players to sell out. You get? Because they're bringing in 7, they have to say 7 players quit. So to me, I see it as a no concern because it was a contract that was signed way back that Arsenal needed to respect. The buy option clause was 11 million euros or 9.5 million pounds, and it was triggered by a side which goes by the names of Marseille, and he's now a Marseille player, and he never wanted William Saliba to leave him, but William Saliba says, I am still committed to Arsenal. I have a contract with Arsenal. I have nothing to do with them. Matteo Guendouzi, in his farewell message before joining Marseille last summer, he said, I will never forget any minute spent with the Gunners jersey. I will never forget the Emirates Stadium. I will never forget the fans. I will never forget you, and will be a Gunner forever in there for you. And being at Marseille, he has been playing with his fellow Arsenal teammate, who goes by the names of William Saliba, who really went ahead to play very many games, and he got himself a call-up for the French national team, and is fitting very well into the French national team of Marseille, of Deschamps in there for you, and he might go to the World Cup if at all he really comes in at Arsenal and really does the needful as far as it's concerned in there for you. Now, a player I'm talking about who goes by the names of William Saliba. William Saliba is really doing great in here for you, and I'm smiling because someone is making me smile here. Something that I hate to do in front of camera. Please stop it. So let's do William Saliba. William Saliba has been handed shirt number 2 for the upcoming season according to the Premier League website. He previously wore shirt number 4 with Benjamin White. He previously wore number 4, which Benjamin White took when he joined. Hector Bellerin previously wore number 2 in there for you, and number 2 was for Hector Bellerin. That means Hector Bellerin is not seen as an Arsenal player, and they want him out immediately. William Saliba has been given shirt number 2. This is the last nail in the coffin for Marseille that really wanted to really retain him on loan, but Arsenal have said we want our player. He did great for you. You enjoyed him on loan, but we are not really getting you that player back to us in here on Rokani Media Football. So a player who goes by the names of William Saliba is going to be donning shirt number 2. Shirt number 4 that was donning was given to Ben White, and now he has taken over the Hector Bellerin shirt number, meaning that Hector Bellerin is either going to Rio Betis or Juventus or Atletico Madrid. But Atletico Madrid look like they are not interested in Hector Bellerin. Firstly, their first option is Emerson Royal at Spurs, and Spurs signing a player who goes by names of Dejan Spence in the next coming weeks. Will it really sell off Emerson Royal, or they really want 2 players into that position as Antonio Conte? So William Saliba is leaving a side which goes by the names of Marseille and returning to Arsenal. Shirt number 2 has been given to him, and it has been confirmed in there for you. So that is William Saliba for you, and he is now returning to the Emirates, and he really posted a video in there of him doing great business to himself in there for you, and he was training hard. That is William Saliba in there for you, doing the needful for side which goes by names of Arsenal, preparing for the pre-season, because they are really traveling to side which goes by names of Germany, and we are waiting to see how they're really going to go on and perform that side in there for you. Then we go to a midfielder known as Amadou Onana. Amadou Onana is a Senegalese player. Sorry, he's a Belgian professional footballer who is 20 years of age, and he was born in Dakar. He played 32 games for a side which goes by the names of Lille in France, and he scored 1 goal plus 0 assists, and he plays as a defensive central midfielder or a holding midfielder. Not so much good going forward. I'm trying to really get his stats in there for you, but this story has been really reported by Shaka Tavoira in there for you. Arsenal are very interested in Lille's Amadou Onana. They have made the players representatives, but there are other Premier League clubs from London who are interested in there for you. Which other teams in London are interested in him? You guys, these are agent stories in there for you. I mean, it's Arsenal being interested in this player, but the way that agents really want to portray it out in the media that this player is needed by other teams in London. Which teams in London? We've not had this player being linked to any team in London. Teams in London include Crystal Palace. They've already signed Okore. There is Brentford. There is Fulham. Is Fulham in London? I think Fulham. There is Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal, Chelsea. Which other have I left out? That is in London. You get? Those are teams I know that are in London. Now you're telling us that this player is so much linked with other clubs in London. Then that makes me question the story and the source. But all we know that Arsenal is in need of a central midfielder. Yes, we know that. We know that. But Mr. Shaka Sacha, please try to improve the way you report this story that Premier League clubs from London are also interested in him. So I stand to apologize to him if at all really this is true and happens, as he's really saying, but I don't really see it happening in there for you that very many Arsenal London clubs are really looking for him. When you say London and Arsenal, because you know that Arsenal, there is a battle in London. Who is the king of London? Obviously, for the previous years, it has been Chelsea. Chelsea has been the king of London, has very many trophies, won the Champions League. By the way, in London, I think it's only Chelsea that has ever won the Champions League. They've won it twice. Arsenal have not yet won it, and they're the ones that have just registered recent victories in the Premier League and the Champions League. And Arsenal came in 2020 when they won the FA Cup under Mikel Arteta. You get? I think that's where they really went ahead to go on and win that. But right now, Chelsea is really leading. Chelsea is leading. So when they really come out and say that and other London clubs are really linked to, they're just trying to add weight to the story to really heat up a rivalry that this player who goes by the names of Amadou Onana, 20 years of age, is needed by London clubs. And you know what it means. You've seen that battle between Rafinha and Chelsea. Barcelona has won it as per now. Then you've seen that battle between a team which goes by the names of Arsenal and Spurs. For Gabriel Jesus and Chelsea, they're battling for him. Richarlison, Arsenal was not in the battle. I think Chelsea was in the battle. Chelsea tried to go in and hijack the Richarlison deal, but they failed. Looks like Chelsea recently are really coming on late. They are late comers in all these deals. I don't know why. Toddy Bowley, you really need an expert to do these deals. I don't think you're an expert into this business. You need someone to come out and really negotiate these deals for you, but you look like you know this better. Something that I don't really come in here to really come out and really let you know. This gentleman has played 9 games. He played 9 games in the Champions League last season, scored 0 goals. That is a man who goes by the names of Amadou Onana. So if at all this story is true, I expect it to hit the English media soon of Amadou Onana linked to Arsenal. He's a defensive midfielder or a holding central midfielder. So we wait and see in there for you. So that is it in there for you, as Arsenal is fetching in and looking in for a player who goes by names of Amadou Onana. It's being reported from France, a source, and we wait and see whether it's really going to come out and really get through the main media. That is such a tough volume. To me, I no longer really underestimate these sources, especially that really give us this news, because you don't know who he's talking to. Some agents put out these stories when they are true. You get? Because when you look at how Arsenal really signed Fabio Viera, it was just a boom. We are just attacked. We are surprisingly attacked by Arsenal, guys. No one expected this deal to happen this way, but Arsenal went ahead to really get it done that way. You all know that. So to me, I will believe that there might be some pinch of truth in this, but we wait and see how it really transpires and passes on in the week we are really going to go into in there for you, because Arsenal is linked to very many players, because there are those that are being linked to them after Arsenal failed to sign Rafinha, a number of them. You get? So even in the central midfield, because we know Arsenal need the central midfielder, and they're really looking at Tielemans in there for you, and we are waiting to see whether it really goes the way Arsenal wants it in here. Let's get to the Tielemans story. Jacobs Ben, you know him very good. He's the man that really broke that story of Gabriel Jesus, that he has really had a verbal agreement with, that Man City had already agreed a verbal agreement with Arsenal, and they had given Arsenal to go on and negotiate a deal. He was the guy that reported it. That's why I really give him lots of respect in there for you. Now, today he has really come out and put up a series of Yuri Tielemans. Yuri Tielemans is one of those players that Arsenal has been lacking for so long. And today, Tottenham and Real Madrid, other clubs sometimes linked, to date aren't serious suitors. Nothing advanced right now. Leicester are planning for Yuri Tielemans to stay and not totally ruling out a new deal, which could still come if offers don't materialize in there for you. So it looks like Leicester is telling Yuri Tielemans that, please, teams don't want you. They fail to pay the revaluation that we want. You see, the problem with this deal is simple. Leicester City wants close to £40 million. You get? And Arsenal is offering £25 million. Why is Arsenal offering 25? Yefis Besuma went for 25. He was left with 1 year on his contract. Yuri Tielemans is still left with just 1 year on his contract, and Arsenal are saying we are only giving you 25. So Arsenal are playing a delay game. You get? They are saying, all right, you'll call us, because they know that they've already agreed everything with Yuri Tielemans, and Tielemans wants to come to Arsenal, and this has been really portrayed to us by Ben Jacobs in there for you. He has gone ahead to say that if Arsenal reach an agreement with Leicester, Todd Tielemans will sign. But for now, Arsenal haven't decided on him. The genuine interest from Manchester United may force Edu to make a decision quicker than expected, especially if Ten Hag pitch proves appealing. You get? Because he's cheap. in there for you. And Jacobs Ben has continued to tell us that Yuri Tielemans update, still no formal offers made. Tielemans wants to join Arsenal and Edu still in touch with his agent. Arsenal have agreed terms and worked on the deal for a year but have never placed an official bid. That's where we are. Lots of things into Yuri Tielemans to Arsenal. Tielemans wants to come to Arsenal. They've been working for this deal since last summer because they wanted to take him last summer, but Leicester valued him at £65 million, and Arsenal said, no way, we are getting you that money. They said, let's wait because it's left with 2 years. Let's wait for next summer and we see what's going to happen. And when they waited next summer, they are telling them 140. Arsenal is telling them your valuation for this player is not realistic. Gauge to the basics and know that the player is left with just 1 year. And if Amadou does not sign a new contract, in January you sell him at like £5 million. You get all you lose Hampton free next summer. So we wait and see what happens in between Arsenal and Leicester. So, but the coming in of Manchester United, to me, I see it in two ways. One, is there a genuine interest? That's one. If it's there, then it's okay. If it's not there, then the agent of Yuri Tielemans is trying to put out stories to force Arsenal to come into this mix. Because when Arsenal hears that United is into this mix, they will hurry up and know and hurry up to go and get the player, because they know that they need Tielemans. If Tielemans goes to Arsenal, it's really going to be a very good addition and enforcement into the central midfield. You get? It's really going to be a very good addition into the central midfield, because Tielemans is still, he's a box-to-box midfielder. He can play as a sitting midfielder. He tackles. He's good at releasing players. He can win physical battles in the midfield. I think tomorrow I will really come in here and break you most of the things that Tielemans really is good at. Arsenal really needs Tielemans. They need Tielemans in there for you. And when you look at Amadou Onana, he's not Premier League proven. But at £25 million, even if you pay £30 million for Yuri Tielemans, I think it's okay, because it's going to come in and play for you very well. It's a player that Arsenal needs in the central midfield, because all of the areas look like Arsenal has really tackled them very well, but the defensive midfield is really lacking. It's really lacking. It's lacking. That's it. They need to go in and bring in Yuri Tielemans to come in and get the job done for a side which goes by the names of Arsenal. But Leicester City are playing hard ball. They want £40 million to sign Yuri Tielemans, but Yuri Tielemans knows that he has told Arsenal that I really love you. You've chased me for the previous 1 year, but why don't you come in and get me? You get? So it might turn into that Rafinha deal that very many teams will come in and wanting to pay money at a side which goes by the names of Leicester, but the player will say, I'm not going there. I want to go to Arsenal. So even Leicester might be trying to put in Manchester United, such that Arsenal really raises its bid when United is not so much involved into this all needing the player. Because when you look at the budget of Manchester United, £125 million so far, they've spent 56 on De Jong, carried 57, 13 on Malacia, already done. And here we go, was announced by Fabio Viera this evening. Then there is another, that is £70 million, meaning that United is left with 55, isn't it? £55 million. They haven't made any sale. £55 million, when you take off the 40, if at all they bring in Alessandro Martinez, that means they're left with 15 million pounds. The only sale nearing to be activated is that of Pereira Andreas. Fulham have really put up a proposal, an official bid for him of £8 million, and I think £2 million as add-ons. And United are really saying we agree with, but the player is coming to Manchester United because Flamengo has released the document that they've really released him. So United can raise some £10 million from that sale. They're going to sell Alex Telles. They're going to sell Eric Bayfield, Jones and Twanzebe. But you know United do this on a snail pace. They are not agile. They are not agile on these procedures of selling players. So we wait and see what happens either way. But Tielemans has told us, no, come and get me, guys, because I need you. I want to go in and play for you. We've already agreed a deal for the previous 1 year. Get in the cash, get me in there for you. Show that you're serious, but you want me in there, because Man City is out of this race because they've already signed Calvin Phillips. He has underwent his medical today, and I think he has passed it very well. We are waiting an update on the Phillips' medical that he did way down in Manchester. So that means Man City are not really going to get him. People that are looking at midfielders, there is Chelsea, there is Manchester United, which other team? I think in the Premier League, even Newcastle, but I believe he only wants to go to Arsenal, and Arsenal will really go in and do it. I was watching Ben Jacobs on the Football Terrace like a week ago talking about Tielemans. He was saying that Arsenal are really treating the Tielemans deal as the deal of Aaron Ramsdale. They wanted Aaron Ramsdale, and they were telling them that we want, was it £40 million? And Arsenal were saying, we're only getting you 30. We are only getting you 30. That's it. And an upfront of 5, an upfront of 25 with £5 million as add-ons. So the player told, was it Bournemouth? Was it Sheffield? I think it was Sheffield or Bournemouth, one of those teams where he came in from the Championship. I think it was Sheffield, yeah, Sheffield. Then he told them that, please, I want to go. So Bournemouth waited to see to it that if there comes in any suitor wanting a player who goes by the name of Aaron Ramsdale, and no one was coming, and they admitted to the Arsenal money that they had really put up. Arsenal are sure that the player is going to play for them next season. That's why it looks like they've really taken it out of media, and they don't want even to talk about it, because they know they are also playing hardball on Leicester that plays. You will admit and get our money. Tielemans, I think, confirmed to them that I'm not really penning down a new contract. And Tielemans knows that even if Arsenal does not take him this season and he plays the entire season and goes out on a free, he's really going to earn in lots of money. You get a sign-on fee, and he's going to be getting a huge salary because he's a good player, obviously. So thank you for watching us. Feel free to go into the comment section, tell me what you think about those stories talked about. Fabio Viera coming out and really clearing the air on the protective boot he was really putting on at Conley. Bruno Fernandes throwing lots of hails at the fellow Portuguese who goes on Fabio Viera. Then we have Guendouzi leaving Arsenal and the farewell message. Saliba returning, his shirt number has been confirmed. He's going to be putting on shirt number 2. Then Amadou, he's called Amadou Onana, being linked to Arsenal. And Tielemans wants to join Arsenal in there. For he has told Arsenal, come and get me. Edu, come and get me. That's what Tielemans has really gonna hate to say. So guys, feel free to go into the comment section, tell me what you think about the stories we've done. It's a late one, but I'm going to upload it, and you guys are really going to watch it because you are always watching us here onto this channel. See you tomorrow morning as we really see how things are really transpiring. Tomorrow, watch Lisandro Martinez to Arsenal Manchester United. We are really getting a big update on where that deal has really reached.